is next economics, the only way forward? Of course, I say that with a little bit of bombast. It doesn't have to be that, but it does have to be something pointed at an economy that can authentically run regeneratively. Like, that's what I mean. Next economics is one example of that. It's one of the only ones I know of in practice, unfortunately. But when I say that, that's what I mean. I don't mean you literally have to buy, green alpha strategies or the world's going to blow up. But I do mean you need to point your capital in a regenerative direction, or we are raising the risks to a point that where they become so high that it undermines the value of the whole economy. And therefore, like I said at the end of my remarks, what future are we compounding into anyway? Will there even be any future to compound into? So as long as you stay, in your SPX fund, as stuffed as it is with fossil fuels and chemicals that degrade topsoil and water and cause any other number of self-reinforcing externalities, you're undermining the own conditions for your whole portfolio to even have value. And as such, that strategy will self-terminate. Right. So, I'm not just being a bombastic jerk to say, like, you got to invest. I'm saying no, but we have to point everything in a regenerative economy. And by that, I mean something that can thrive on its own, if you like, run of river. Like think of a municipality that can derive all the water it needs from rainfall and from like the run of the nearby river and thrive indefinitely on that basis. That's regenerative, right? It can regenerate indefinitely, as opposed to a municipality, Phoenix, Arizona, that has to tap an aquifer underneath it, which will eventually deplete, and then the city's done. That's extractive, right? And so we're not down with extractive. On that basis, Greg, let me give you props for not wanting to own Meta. Neither do we. We think that one of the things that keeps portfolios having value is adherence to the social contract. The fact that we're all here for each other, we obey the rules, we pay our tax, we do all the things that the social contract requires for the good of the Commonwealth, of the well-being of everyone, right? Yep. Well, Meta's whole business model, as you correctly point out, is to tear apart the social fabric, and that in itself is a risk of macroprudential concern that can't be underestimated. And of course, we decline to invest in that. We've never held Meta. We're not gonna. We don't think that the fact that over here they've got an AI business that could result in a more productive economy is either here or there. Their main source of revenue, what they get paid to do, is tear apart the social fabric, and that's not okay. Erica, I'm going to let you have your 2 pennies, but let me just say a quick word about returns, because that was your actual question, Greg. Sorry, you asked a multi-partite question, so you got a long multi-partite answer. So what we want to do is we want to chase, and what we do is chase the leaders in their area of productivity wherever they are, right? So we think that for the economy to become regenerative, the way I described it with my town and a river analogy, is to become phenomenally more productive, right? We have to squeeze so much more economic output out of so many fewer economic inputs that we can run regeneratively indefinitely, and 8.5 billion people can thrive without succumbing to these gnarly externalities that makes us trip over, already 7 of the 9 planetary boundaries, dangerous times, right? And so we need the leaders in everything: dematerialization, electrification, decarbonization, advanced therapeutics. I don't know. The list is indefinitely long. Sure. But when you're chasing those and nothing else, it means you got to be global, cross-sector, cross-industry, and all cap. This means you're going to end up with portfolios that are extraordinarily high active share. And by that, I mean routinely above 98% in our case. And it means you're going to be uncorrelated with the benchmarks. Again, we don't care about that. We think the benchmarks, as Erica put it, are just lazy. And frankly, I would say that they are mediocrity, masquerading around as conventional wisdom. Like, you're literally aiming at the middle and then calling it sophistication. That's crazy to me. But what that means is, when you're very high active share, is you're not correlated. And it means, in our case, that we've had periods of really fantastic, dramatic outperformance and periods of underperformance. If you add up our whole 17-year track record, on an average annual basis, most of our strategies are comfortably ahead of the benchmark. So it is working. I hate to even refer to the benchmark because I just think about absolute returns, but understood. You got to think in that way, especially in your job as an advisor, right? So on an average annual basis, yeah, we're doing better than the benchmarks. On any given year, you might see us just trounce them or underperform them. But that's the thing. One of the key differences between us, and this is my last thing, and a lot of managers practicing right now, is time horizon. We want to buy something that is going to gain market share. It's the better mousetrap, right? It's going to gain market share, proliferate, beat the crap out of its more destructive legacy way of doing things. So, like, think of solar being better than coal. and then just wait for that to compound into the future and just grow and grow and grow and provide wealth. So our time horizon's, a decade, half a decade at least. And so as such, it's appropriate to think of us in those time frames. And, I always tell people who are like, I've got a year till I need to buy my house. I will just say, we're not the right strategy for you. We're long-term compounders.